The ensuring of the economic security of industrial enterprises in the context of forming the flexible management model, prerogatives, and tools. The report is prepared by Larisa Lubakhinets, Evgeny Rudnichenko, Natalia Havlovska, Khmelnytsky National University, Khmelnytsky, Ukraine. In the article, the prerogatives for building a model flexible enterprise management in order to ensure its economic security examines. It is determined that directive management methods, although they ensure the operative execution of tasks, in many cases don't contain a sufficient level of flexibility, and this doesn't allow the economic security system to function effectively. To build a model of flexible management, it is proposed to use intelligent data processing system based on the construction and use a neural network. The preconditions for the formation of the model and the main factors influencing on it are determined. The main groups of stakeholders that interested in developing a model of flexible management to ensure the economic security of the enterprise presented. Their goals and expected result defined. It is substantiated that probabilistic neural network is expedient to build in the MATLAB environment, which ensures the efficiency and relevance of the obtained results. To ensure the economic security of enterprises, management needs and improve the decision-making system. It is expedient to use intelligent data processing system based on construction and use of neural network. The choice of probabilistic neural network for building the system of flexible management and ensuring the economic security can be justified as follows, that you can see on screen. The prerogatives of its formation of model flexible enterprise management based on a neural network and factors of influence, unpredictable events and threats of global scale in today's condition are becoming a reality for most enterprises, regardless of country, industry, and scale of activity. Transformation of target markets are constantly taking place, which in most cases worsen the situation for producers and the industrial sector as a whole. Information about the state of markets and changes that significantly affected on demand is extremely useful and relevant for making strategic decisions and adjusting the overall strategy of enterprise development. Aspects of the influence of the domestic institutional environment on the activities of enterprise allow us to state its high turbulence and resistance to progressive changes, which cause threats and dangers to which the enterprise is extremely difficult to respond. However, not only the institutional environment, but also the competitive environment generates a number of threats related to competition for markets, struggle for resources and logistic flows, lobbying interests at the macro and medium levels, struggle for government orders and budget funding. To form a model of flexible enterprise management based on neural network, it is necessary to determine the prerogatives for its formation and the factors of influence, which include the following. Diagnosing the condition of the enterprise management system, determine the influence of external factors, determine the influence of internal factors, determine the degrees of threats and choice of tools for model constructions. The initiality of the enterprise as a whole, determine the influence of external and internal factors that shape the demand for adaptability and flexibility of management system, as well as determine the complexity from the standpoint of the architectonics of the management structure and the establishment of internal organizational relations. Taking into account the condition of model development is a mandatory component of modeling, but it's also necessary to identify the main stakeholders who are interested in building such a model and their motives for spending resources. The main groups of stakeholders that interested in development a model of flexible management to ensure the economic security of the enterprise include management owners, employees, economic security service of the enterprise. Each group of stakeholders has its own goals and expected results from the implementation of the model in the practice of enterprise. For formation the effective model, it is necessary to provide information and analytical support, because without the necessary information and its detailed analysis, the model will not work with the expected level of efficiency. Accordingly, only after a thorough preparation and diagnosis of the state of information and analytical support of the management system of the enterprise, it is advisable to proceed to the stage of choosing the tools to build a model. Flexible management involves periodical scanning of the economic environment, which directly or indirectly affects on the economic activity on the enterprise, the sustainability and stability of its development. According to the results of the scan, search and management decision will made to prevent the deterioration of the economic condition of the enterprise. The amplitude of flexible management depends on inflation, which unfortunately has recently intensified in our country. However, the inflation process can be destructive. In general, exchange rate fluctuation are one of the most influential threats of the economic security of the enterprise. Among the group of other potential threats are weak market and the loss of competitiveness, deterioration of resource supply, aggravation of interpersonal relationship on the enterprise. The system of management of the enterprise to ensure a sufficient level of its economic security should build based on statistical classifiers. Firstly, we need to identify a list of factors influencing the degree of threats. A probabilistic neural network is very easy to build in a MATLAB environment. To do this, it's necessary to form an input matrix that you can see on screen. This approach can significantly improve the management system of the enterprise and ensure the economic security of industrial enterprises by increasing the speed of response of the management system to the negative impact of the environment. The proposed approach requires further research in the context of testing and progress of development approaches. Thank you for your attention.